Hello, guys. Welcome to this episode of Research Practice Part 2. Recall that in the Part 1, we've already discussed about the general introduction, general antecedents, those small things we need to know about research practice. We've discussed about all of that. We've also discussed about the table of contents of this particular presentation. Now we are going to enter into the first information in this material, and that's what you are seeing on the table here: documentation. Remember, the material we are learning from is non-statistical preliminaries to research practice. So if you enter the website www.admissions@utme.com, you just see the link here. You can use it to come to this material fully, or once you enter admissions@utme.com, you can click this zoom button here. You will see where to search for the material. Just touch preliminaries. Once you enter preliminaries, just enter preliminaries and search. You see this material. You can come to this material and follow us up. So now, first thing first, what is documentation? Let us agree first that when you are writing an academic report, which may be assignments, projects, or seminars, you are expected to write down or put somewhere all the information about the authors you are using their work. For instance, you came to this website, right? Okay, let's see. You came to this website. What is the name of the author of this material you are using? Look at it here. That is Michael Ojoes. That's my name. But my name has variant because of my social media use. But my complete name, official name, is Julius Michael Ogenenyoreme. But you saw the name here as Michael Ojoes. What you are going to do is to bring a piece of paper, or those that are using laptop, under your assignment you are working on, the word document, go under copy Michael. Just copy this Michael Jones, then the year 2020, copy it. Then you copy the non-statistical preliminaries to research practice. This is the title of the material. Then what is the link to the website? Look at it here. You copy the link to the website. Look at it here. Copy the link because you are going to use it in the references. So please take note of this. It's very important. Remember, we are talking about documentation. So all the information about the authors you are using their work, you are going to document them somewhere. That is the essence of this part of the work of the presentation we are talking about. Now, in research, there are various activities that the researcher need to put into consideration to ensure that your assignment, project, or seminar you want to do, it is very successful. Remember, we don't want to be among those copy and paste students. That's why we are here. So some of the things you are going to consider is plagiarism, citation, and quotations. Plagiarism, citations, and quotations. You must consider plagiarism, because if you don't consider it, you go and do work that falls under plagiarism. And if your work is tested, issues will start to come. Again, another thing you are going to look at is quotation and citation. We've already talked about citation, which is the documentation. Any material you use that you cite in the body of your work, you must document them somewhere. And quotation, the way the author you use their work, when you bring it to your assignment in your system, in your Microsoft Word, you want to use it, you have to paraphrase it to ensure that it does not remain the same way you copied it. That's what we mean by quotations. Now let's look at the definition of Nordisk 2018. You see, Nordisk 2018, that is documentation. That is what we call citation. We are going to go to it in the next part. Now, Nordisk define documentation as the evidence provided. What you are providing may be in the form of endnotes, footnotes, and entries and bibliography. Now, they are the evidence you provided, the information you provided, and ideas you borrowed from others. Now, when you are doing your assignment on projects or seminars, all the tests you use, you did not bring them from your own brain. You went to the internet and took materials from others. So it will be theft, academic theft, if you do not tell us or tell your readers the people you took those sentences, those paragraphs from. Even if you paraphrase it to become your own, the ideas is still somebody's own. The ideas that help you got your own text is somebody's own. You must still cite the person. The need for you to paraphrase is to avoid plagiarism. Not if you paraphrase, you do not do any crime. But who helped you formulate that idea you paraphrase? You must still document that person's name, even though the work is now your own. I hope you are getting the point. Now, if you are a candidate and a fresher, you may not understand everything we are trying to say because you may not have done any academic work. But year 2, year 3, year 4 to final year, so they may get a full understanding. But even if you still don't get the full understanding, you can take the video back a little and start listening step by step carefully. If you can slower the record, you can slower it to ensure you get a full understanding of what we are trying to say. Now, for those of you who may still not understand, just keep this video somewhere. As your assignment comes, as you are doing your project, your assignment, your seminars, you come back and watch this video, then you understand fully what we are trying to refer to. Now, let's go to another definition of documentation. Baumik, ND. You see that ND there? It means no date. Some of our educators don't even know some of these things. The way research is being taught in universities is very, very inadequate, and is making most of our students do work that are not highly qualitative. Now let's go ahead. Baumik to ND sees documentation as the act or an instance of supplying the documents or supporting references or records. It is also the collation, synopsizing, and coding of printed materials for visual purposes. Now, we will not define more documentation again. Let us all agree that documentation is the art of taking records. You are doing an assignment, you entered one link, you copied material from there, you did not even bother to look at the owner of the work, the year, the date, and the link and the title of the material. You exited the link, you went another one, they change like a man when they change girlfriend. That's not how they conduct research. Remember, what we are talking about is research practice. The practice is that as you are entering the website, you saw that you will not go and look at those documentation parameters first. You will first of all check the text, whether it is sensible or it is relevant to what you need. If it is relevant and you want to take from it, and you successfully took something from it, that is when you now go ahead, look at the author, the date, the title, and the links. Then if it is a journal, there are also ways we document journal. We are going to go there. All of these are what we are referring to as research practice. Now, some students often skip these documentation requirements when they are writing their assignment, project, and seminars. Most of these students forget to keep their references when they are doing their work. And at the end of the day, when it is time to write references refers to all those people you cite in your work. You wrote a paragraph, say this work belongs to Michael 2022, this work belongs to Hastings Imurache 2022, this work belongs to Jane Abali 2022. All those people you cited in your body of the work, you are going to compile them in the ending of your work. That's what we call reference list. That's the last page in your assignment. Now, when it is time to compile those names, now you did not put them anywhere, so it is difficult for you to go back and get them again because you didn't document them. So that's why the research practice demand that any website you copied a sentence, not even a whole paragraph self, a sentence, you must copy the title of the work, the name of the author, the year, and the link to that website. So that's what documentation is all about. Please go back. You can quietly go to the beginning of this material and record this page step by step. Let me go back to the beginning so that I will scroll through slowly, so that for those who want to read, okay, I'm here, documentation, I'm scrolling slowly so that you can read. For the purpose of ensuring that this video is as short as possible, I will not read for you, but you can be pausing this area scrolling through and be reading them until you get a full grasp of what we are trying to talk. I hope you have read. Okay, good. Now that we have understood what documentation is, that documentation is the art of taking records. Please take note. Documentation is not the art of doing your assignment. You are copying people's work and doing it. That's not documentation. Documentation is the art of taking records of the sources of your work. Although doing your assignment can also be part of documentation, but you are not keeping record by doing your assignment. The record we are talking about in documentation are the ones that you took work from, you took information from. You need to appeal to them, you need to tell them thank you that I used your work by adding their name in your reference list. So now, what is quotation? We are now coming to the assignment proper. Documentation refers to the owners of the work, while this quotation now will refer to the main text you are copying. Okay. Now in research, you must understand the concept of quotation to enable you use the works of other authors. When I say authors, we are referring to the people that you are using their work. For instance, Michael 2022. If for instance now your supervisor asked you to define quotation or to define documentation, and you came to this website and you use my material, you are also going to refer to me as an author. You are going to document my name. So you say Michael 2019 and what's the title again? You put the title there, the title of this material, you put the link there. So me now, I'm also a source to that your assignment. So now let's go to quotation. Without a proper understanding of quotation, students can commit errors that may be punishable in their institutions. Now, why is it punishable? Although in NDU, until now, assignments and projects were not tested for plagiarism. Recently, they started testing postgraduate thesis. So, since 2018, I have been pursuing that they should test undergraduate assignment and even lecturers' work for plagiarism. And it is happening now. Since lecturer can just tell an undergraduate student to write a book, an information, write on a concept, and they will publish those materials. Undergraduate that don't know about plagiarism, they will publish them. But now, school is not testing works of lecturers. All the work they have been doing from beginning, they are bringing them now. They test all of them now, and it's very, very tough on them. Very, very tough. A lecturer cannot just come and just write any mumu thing and come and sell for students. It's not possible again. They are finding it very, very difficult now. That is why I want you to know these things, because these are the things that will prepare you to write authentic materials rather than copy and paste. Now, if you do assignment and it is tested for plagiarism and it is more than what the university wants, it may be punishable. Your work can be returned, cancelled, or you may have some sort of punishment. Now, specifically, quotation has to do with writing what someone else has said before, especially to buttress a point in your study or report. Quotation does not reflect original thinking, as the quoted words of phrase and or sentences are often those of others, unless otherwise the author is quoting his or herself in a previous work. Let me underpine or try to explain this, please. When you are using quotation, you remember quotation mark now. Let me see if there's any quotation. Let me find quotation for you. There is no quotation here because I have already. Okay, thank God there's a quotation here. Look at it here. This is a quotation mark. This is a quotation mark. Oh, I've gone somewhere. How do I? Okay, that is a quotation mark. This thing you are seeing here is a quotation mark. See? All right. So quotation, when you are quoting somebody, what you are quoting now does not reflect your own thoughts. It is always someone else's material that you are quoting. So when you just see quotation, you know that it is not the word of this author. So to make it your own word and to delete the quotation mark there, you paraphrase that text you are quoting. Paraphrase it in a way that it will no longer look like your own. The text will no longer look like the text of the original author, but your own, then you can delete the quotation. Please take note of this research practice. Plagiarism does not allow quotation. Let me repeat it. Plagiarism does not allow quotation. Once you hear that your assignment will be tested for plagiarism, or your project or thesis will be tested for plagiarism, run away from quotes. Anywhere you see quote, delete the quote, paraphrase the sentence to ensure that the sentence become your own, but you will still cite the original author of what you paraphrase. These are the issues you need to know. In any work, in any of your research reports, there is need to support your work with tangible, concrete evidence taken from differentiated sources, and you have to name the author or source of your evidence in your writing. Now, you should understand that any work that you write, you must give concrete evidence of who you took the work from. Those are the sources, the documentation we are talking about, the authors and all of that. Now, when making quotations, authors often use according to, this collaborated, this so and so person was of the view that, so and so person held that, etc., and so on and so forth, to refer to the quotation. For instance, I want to quote somebody, and I want to quote Hastings Emurashe's work 2018. I will now say, according to Hastings Emurashe 2018, according to. So these are the, you can see the phrases in quotation marks there. These are the types of phrase that we use to refer to quotation. There are two types of quotations. There are the direct quotation and the indirect quotation. Now, what is a direct quotation? Sometimes you may need to use direct quotes, the exact words of the author, when you are writing your assignment. It is very useful sometimes to use the original words of the author when those exact words carry special significance. Now, it is not everything that you can paraphrase. There are some words that they just need to be the way the author wants it. Although plagiarism will catch it, but catching those small parts of your assignment may not really amount to big, may not overcome, may not make you fall for plagiarism work, because it's a very small portion. You understand? So if you see some words that, no, this word need to be like this, you don't need to paraphrase it. You can leave it the way it is, because those words carry special significance. You should not use too many direct quotes in your writing, as they increase plagiarism percentage. Now, those amounts of sentences, those amounts of works you don't want to paraphrase should not be as much as, it should not be too much, because if you are too much, your work will fall under plagiarism percentage. Now, when your work is to be tested for plagiarism result comes in percentages. School may tell you 10%, some may tell you 20, some 15, some 5, depending on the standard. For assignment, because you guys are just coming, they may give you up to even 30-40%. So if your plagiarism falls under within that percentage, you may be pardoned. So these are the issues you need to know. There are specific rules for using direct quotes in your report. Remember, we say we have direct quotes and indirect quotes. Before we go into explaining this material, let me just run through the two for you. Now, if you use this material now, you are writing something and you come to this my website and you use a work from here, and where you use that work, I did not put author there, meaning that sentence is my own. Now you are going to document Michael 2019 preliminaries to research practice. That's what you will record. Now you came to this work and you are defining those node disk, those bar make that we defined that time, and you use their definition. That one is an indirect quotation. You did not quote my material, you did not quote their material from that work. You came through my material to meet node disk, and you quoted the definition of documentation from of node disk through Michael 2019. I hope you are seeing the indirect there. So sometimes you will see some people, you will see some citation, Michael 2018 cited in, or in node disk 1995. I hope you are seeing it now. That is indirect. You are passing through somebody to go and quote another person's work, because you didn't see the person's work. You saw the person's statement in Michael's material, so that's indirect. And I want to state it again. If you don't understand this particular explanation, don't bother, don't worry yourself. These materials are in this channel. You can come even in next 4-5 years, you will still come and meet them. So when you are having challenges, just come and start reading this material again. You will enjoy it. Research is very, very enjoyable. Now let's go to rule number 1 in quoting an author. If the quote is a short direct quote of less than 40 words, use double inverted commas the way you are seeing it there, and include the quotes in the text. That is run a prose. Okay, now let me explain it properly for you. When you are writing project, you will see that when you read to a particular place, a paragraph, you see that the paragraph is not justified properly. The paragraph is just small text in between. Let me explain for you. Look at where this sentence starts. I hope you are seeing it. Look at where these ones they start here. I hope you can see it in the screen. Look at it. They run to the end. But when the quote is below 40, or you see that the quote is not much, you see that the author will bring the text. The text will start from here and will end here, and very small. But what this sentence is trying to say, if the count the words you are quoting, is it up to 40 and more? If it is yes, run it the way you see it here. You can see it. Look at this one now. Okay, sorry. If it is less than, look at this one now. Let's count this one. James 2001 is 2 words. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. You can see it's less than 40. So I wrote it straight ahead. Like the way all these tests have been. You can see it from the beginning here to the end here. I wrote it the same thing. They call it prose. You ran it like that. Now let's go to the rule 2. If the quote is long, is a long direct quote or block quote more than 40 words, do not use inverted commas nor run in prose. Call a colon and a block indented quote to write such quotation. I know you still don't understand what I'm trying to say, but let's go to the example. Now, the quote you want to quote is more than 40 words, right? Let's start the sentence. We have not started the quote yet. In recent times, academic staff members have been reporting changes in university clientele and their attitude to the university learning environment. James 2001 reported that. You can see, you call a column. Look at this place. You say call a column. Look at the column here. I've called the column and block indented quotes to write quotation, e.g. see, look at it here. I hope you can see. So I want to point to a mistake here. From this folder here to page to student here is supposed to be indented. That's what the instruction said, but there's a mistake here. Now, because this quote is more than 40, the work is not indented. A block indented quote. Okay, see, because this is a website publication, I am unable to call indent. So this folder is supposed to start from here, while this is supposed to end somewhere here. Please, if you are a candidate, you may not understand. But once you are a student already, you'll be doing assignments, project assignments, you would understand better. So because this quotation is more than 40, we are supposed to bring it closer. The sentence is supposed to start here and end here. That's what this place is just trying to talk about. So please take note of the following. The quotation was indented, that is, both left and right margins were indented inside. And 2, there is a colon before the quotation. Look at the column here. This column shows that the next paragraph is a quotation from somebody. Then 3, before the quotation, there is a column before the quotation. Then 3, page number was displayed at the end of the quotation. Look at it. I hope you can see the page number here. Look at the page number. Meanwhile here, okay, yours, there's also a page number here. All right, let's go to the next, the indirect quotation. The indirect quotation is where we'll stop in this part 2 of the research practice. Now, if you use your own words to express the ideas or opinions of another writer, of other writers, for example, you paraphrase or you summarize the work of another author, the result is an indirect quote which must also be referenced. Indirect quotes are included in the text and quotation marks are not used. Let me read the last line. Indirect quotes are included in the text and quotation marks are not used. What do we mean? Now, you want to quote an author, but because of plagiarism, fear of plagiarism, you went and paraphrased the sentence. Now, what the text that came out as a result of the paraphrase is what we also refer to that as indirect quotes. When you are doing that, there is no need again to put quotation marks because the text is now your own. Now, let's go to types of quotation. Quotation has two various types, the strong quotation and the weak quotation. In the strong quotation, the author's name and the year comes before the quotation. However, in the weak quotation, the author's name and year comes after the quotation. Both are exemplified as follows. Remember, we say we have strong quotation and weak quotation. As a researcher, if you are a student already, you would have seen this type of sentence. Hastings Imurashe defined motivation as so and so. Hastings Imurashe 2022 defined motivation as so and so. Then you also see the same definition, say motivation is the act of giving people money to push them to work more. Then you see the citation at the end, Hastings Imurashe 2022. I hope you can see the difference. One, Hastings Imurashe came first before the sentence. The second one, Hastings Imurashe came last after the definition. So the strong quotation is when the author comes before the sentence, while the weak quotation is when the author comes after the sentence. Look at this one, James 2001. The James 2001 came before the definition, while in the weak quotation, the James 2001 came after. I hope you can now see the difference. All right, let's try and round up this class. We want to end in a citation. Let me see where we still have to go. Okay, we have to end in citation. This is where we'll end the class. Then let's see if we can still go further, make the video like 30 minutes. Yes. Okay, in order to make the class not to be too long, this is already 27 minutes. We want the class to be as short as possible. So the next part of this video will be the use of ellipses. The use of ellipses. Are you seeing it? Dot, 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 3 dots. That's what we call ellipses. We'll start the next video from ellipses because I don't want the video to be too long. So it's very, very important for me. Because when videos are short, it makes it to be very, very interesting for people to read. So thank you very much for watching this part 2 of the research practice. What we are doing is we are not being paid for this work we are doing. We are just doing it because we want students to be authentic and original in their academic work. It pays a lot. It pays a lot. So please do well to subscribe to this channel, and so that you click the notification button. Whenever any video is posted, you will be notified so that you come and check it out. Please be assured that every content in this presentation is going to be very, 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 very interesting. You have that assurance from me. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you.